I'm Christina Moy, and welcome to the Digipalms podcast. Here we cut through the fluff and dive into the real world of media and marketing, spicing it up with diverse, engaging stories. Each episode brings you actionable insights and practical tips from our own marketing adventures. Whether you're a startup founder, a seasoned marketer, or just a curious listener, there's something here for you. Ready to transform your marketing strategies into success stories? Join us to explore the art and science of media and marketing, learn from our successes and setbacks, and put our expert advice into practice. Don't forget to subscribe and visit thedigipalms.com for more. Let's get started.
All right, so are you ready to dive into something that honestly sounds a little bit too good to be true?
Oh yeah, hit me with it.
It's this idea of a $1 million banking secret.
Okay. I've heard that phrase thrown around.
Yeah, it does sound like one of those late night infomercial scams.
Totally. But the interesting thing is this secret, it's actually based on some pretty solid advice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it comes from Ramit Sethi's book, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. Have you heard of that one?
Oh yeah, for sure, a classic.
Definitely a classic. So we're actually looking at this episode with Kenny Martiny today.
Right.
And he breaks down Sethi's strategy.
Okay, cool.
And basically he's saying that there's a way to turn our everyday banking, like our checking accounts.
Right, the ones we all use.
Exactly, into like a wealth generating machine.
No lottery wins or anything.
No risky investments involved.
Okay, so how does this secret actually work?
So Kenny starts by, he drops a bit of a truth bomb.
Lay it on me.
The average American has over $5,300 just sitting in their checking account, earning basically zero interest.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how that would be a problem.
It's like having this pile of cash that's just gathering dust.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll admit I'm definitely guilty of that. But I mean, a few extra bucks in interest isn't going to make me a millionaire, right?
See, that's where I think a lot of people go wrong. They underestimate the power of compounding, even with small interest rates.
Interesting.
Let's say, for example, you've got like $5,000.
Okay.
And it's earning a modest 1% interest.
Right.
It might not seem like a lot, year to year.
Right.
But over time.
Yeah, over time, what happens?
Over time, that 1% could actually snowball into over $30,000 within just 40 years.
Wow.
And with very minimal effort on your part.
So it's kind of like planting a seed that turns into a big tree.
Exactly. It's like a tiny seed that becomes a mighty oak tree.
Okay, now you've got my attention.
Yeah.
So how do we actually tap into this compounding power? Is that where this two-account system comes in?
You got it.
Okay.
So Sethi's strategy is really simple. He suggests you just keep the bare minimum in your checking account.
Yeah.
Just enough for like your monthly expenses, and then the rest. You transfer it to a high-yield savings account.
Hold on, high-yield savings account. What exactly is that?
Yeah, so a high-yield savings account, it's basically like a regular savings account.
Okay.
But it offers a much higher interest rate.
Oh, okay.
Compared to your standard checking account.
Oh, I see.
So that means your money grows faster.
Got it. So it's like giving my savings a promotion.
Exactly.
All right, so I move most of my money to this high-yield account. But what about paying my bills? Do I have to constantly transfer money back and forth?
So that's where the system gets really clever. You set up automatic transfers back to your checking account just before your bills are due. So maybe like once or twice a month.
Oh, that makes sense.
That way your money is earning that higher interest for as long as possible.
So you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You can access your money easily for your bills.
Right.
But you're also maximizing the interest on the rest. So is that really all it takes to unlock this whole $1 million banking secret?
Well, it's definitely a crucial first step.
Okay.
This approach, it's not just about earning a few extra dollars here and there.
Right.
It's about shifting your whole mindset towards actively making your money work for you.
I like that idea.
Remember, every dollar you have, it's a potential worker.
Oh, interesting.
It can either sit idle or earn passively in a high yield account.
Money as a worker. I like that analogy.
Yeah.
But if this strategy is so effective, why aren't we hearing about it from our banks? I feel like they would be shouting this from the rooftops.
Well, that's where things get a little interesting. It's not necessarily that banks are being intentionally deceptive.
Sure.
But let's be realistic. They do profit from lending out the money that's just sitting in our checking accounts.
So the less we know about optimizing our own banking, the more they benefit.
That's kind of the reality of it.
Huh.
But now that we're in the know,
Yeah.
we can actually take control.
I like that.
This knowledge empowers us to make our money work for us. not just for the banks.
So I'm convinced I need to get my money working harder for me. But is this 2-account system only something that works if you've got a lot of money to move around?
That's a great question, and it's one of the most appealing parts of this whole approach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the beauty of the strategy is that it's scalable.
Okay, what does that mean?
It works whether you're starting with $1,000 or $100,000.
Oh, wow.
The principle is the same. Optimize your funds to maximize growth.
You know, this reminds me of that saying, make your money work for you.
It's all about that.
But Kenny goes beyond just setting up these accounts right.
Right.
He mentioned something about creating a positive feedback loop.
Yes.
What does he mean by that?
So it's all about setting up a system that kind of naturally encourages you to save more.
Okay.
The idea is that when you see your money growing in that high yield account,
Right.
it becomes really motivating.
Okay, so there's a psychological aspect to it as well.
Absolutely. It's not just about the math. It's about the feeling you get seeing that growth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kenny actually shares a story about one of his clients named Emily.
Okay.
And before she tried this system, she was barely getting anywhere with her savings.
I see.
But after setting up these 2 accounts,
Yeah.
she started earning more in interest in just 6 months than she had in the previous 5 years combined.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Did she have to make any big changes to her lifestyle to get that kind of growth?
Not at all. Actually, she ended up saving an extra $500 a month
Really?
without even feeling it.
Wow.
Simply seeing her savings grow consistently was enough to motivate her to put aside a little extra.
So it's like that snowball effect everyone talks about.
Exactly. You start small and then you gain momentum.
Right.
And before you know it, you've got a significant amount saved up.
So this 2-account system is like the starting point.
It's like the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, okay.
It opens your eyes to the idea that banking can be a tool for building wealth.
Not just a place to keep your money.
Exactly.
I see. So there's actually even more to this than just the 2 accounts.
Yeah, it's like a whole new way of thinking about finances.
Okay, so what other opportunities are we talking about here?
Well, it depends on your goals and your risk tolerance and your overall financial situation. But once you've got that solid base of savings generating passive income, you can explore other investments.
That's why.
You could look into index funds or real estate or even starting your own business.
Oh, wow.
The possibilities really open up.
So this secret isn't some magic get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah.
It's more about creating a solid foundation for building long-term wealth.
Exactly. It's about being smart and intentional with your money.
And feeling empowered to make those decisions.
Absolutely. It's about moving from being reactive with your money to being proactive.
I really like that idea. You know, Kenny seems really passionate about this whole concept of financial empowerment.
Yeah, he really does. He even mentions his company, the Digipalms. They help people build wealth through things like strategic marketing and smarter money management.
It sounds like he really wants to help people take control of their finances.
Definitely. It's a message I think everyone should hear.
For sure. So this all sounds great, but what about people who are starting with a smaller amount? Does this still apply?
Absolutely. Remember we talked about scalability earlier.
Right.
This isn't just for the wealthy elite.
Okay.
The system can work for anyone.
Regardless of their starting point.
Exactly. Kenny even has a call to action in his episode.
Oh, really? What is it?
He challenges everyone to take 30 minutes this week.
Okay.
And just audit their accounts.
So see how much is sitting in their checking account doing nothing.
Yeah, and then think about how they can optimize their system.
To make that money work harder.
It's a small step, but it can make a big difference.
Auditing your accounts. I like that. It's like taking stock of your resources before you make a plan. So beyond the 2-account system, are there any other simple things people can do to optimize their banking?
That's a great question, and it's something we could definitely explore another time.
Okay, maybe in a future episode.
Yeah.
For now, let's focus on this secret that Kenny's shared. This 2-account system and this new way of thinking about our finances.
Agreed. It's all about taking control, making smart choices, and building a better future.
It's pretty amazing that we've been talking about something as basic as checking accounts.
I know, right?
It makes you wonder what other financial opportunities we might be missing.
Totally. We can get so focused on the complicated stuff that we forget about the simple things.
Like, who knew switching to a high-yield savings account could be so powerful?
Right. It's all about those little changes adding up over time.
Not about some magic formula.
Exactly. It's about building a good foundation and making smart decisions.
And it starts with just being aware.
Definitely. Once you see the possibilities, they're everywhere.
You know, Kenny mentioned his company, the Digipalms.com.
Yeah.
They've got resources for building wealth.
Through marketing and money management.
Maybe our listeners could check that out.
Yeah, it's always good to explore different ideas.
Well, I think that wraps up our deep dive into the $1 million banking secret.
It does.
Hopefully you're leaving feeling like you can take control of your money.
The main thing is knowing that you have the power to shape your own financial future.
It's not about luck, it's about making good choices.
And having the right strategies in place.
So go audit those accounts.
Yeah.
Find those hidden opportunities.
And keep learning.
Exactly. Until next time, happy wealth building.
I'm Christina Moy, and thanks for tuning in to another engaging session on the DigiPalms podcast. Don't leave just yet. Subscribe to join our community and never miss out on our cutting-edge discussions. See you next time.
Baby, I love the way you